Namaste, everybody. Good morning. My name is Ashish Gupta. I'm the consulting CEO of Faith. Thank you very much to all our viewers from around the world, from within India and from all our countries who are joining us live on this absolutely path-breaking initiative. It's a phenomenal example of public-private partnership, and we have come a long way to begin a very strong start to tourism, to India Tourism Mart, inauguration 2021, which is in a hybrid format. I welcome you all, namaste, and thank you very much for joining from all over the world and from within India in all places. To all our delegates, buyers, sellers, and partners. Thank you very much. It has been a very long journey where we have worked very, very strongly with the ministries of the central government and with the state governments to bring a very strong partnership of policy to put tourism right at the forefront of economic independence in the country. And the India Tourism Mart format is a glaring example of how India is positioning itself to the world and within the country to bring tourism right to the forefront of development at socio-economic level. Thank you once again. I will have welcome address by Mr. Subhash Goel, Chairman of ITM 2021 Virtual and Honorary Secretary of Faith. Could we have Subhash on, please?
Namaste and good morning to everyone. Prahlad Singh Patel ji, Honorable Tourism Minister, Dr. Harshvardhan ji, Honorable Minister of Health, Amitabh Kant ji, CEO of Niti Aayog, Arvind Singh ji, Tourism Secretary, Mrs. Meenakshi Sharma, DG Tourism, Mr. Rakesh Kumar, Joint Secretary Tourism, Mrs. Rupinder Barar, Additional Director General, Chairman ITDC, Mr. GVK Rao, Chairman SCPC, Mr. Manak Dawar, founder members of Faith and friends of the media. Friends, on behalf of the organizing committee, our dynamic chairman of Faith, Mr. Nakul Anand, my co-chairman ITM, Mr. Amrish Tiwari, and the following associations: Travel Agents Association of India, Travel Agents Federation of India, Federation of Hotel and Restaurants Association, Indian Association of Tour Operators, Association of Domestic Tour Operators, India Convention Promotion Bureau, Adventure Tour Operators, Hotel Association, Indian Heritage Hotel Association, and Indian Tourist Transporters. We would like to welcome each and every one of you to this historical international event. This is the first international virtual event by the tourism industry jointly with the tourism ministry. After the world's vaccination drive has been started, world's largest vaccination drive has been started, India is letting the world know that it is ready to welcome tourists and is one of the safest countries if you follow health and safety protocols. Ladies and gentlemen, it is very challenging for us it was very challenging for us to organize this event, ITM 21, in a record period of less than 2 months. All of us in the Faith Board and the organizing committee worked day and night to make it a grand success. Friends, I am glad to inform you that we have already today more than 250 international buyers from over 60 countries and also 300 domestic buyers. I would also like to welcome thousands of delegates who are attending this event virtually. Ladies and gentlemen, you will agree that 2020 was the darkest period in the history of the world and tourism was the worst affected. All flights got cancelled, visas got suspended, our industry came to a grinding halt. Without any support from anywhere, millions became jobless, hundreds became homeless. Survival seemed impossible. We were hanging by a thin thread to remain afloat, no matter what the size and scale of our business. All of us in the tourism industry face the same difficulty, the same challenges of managing our workforce, maintaining our offices, and fulfilling our commitments. When we had no revenues coming in for months end. Friends, in spite of all this, we got together with the help of the Ministry of Tourism to organize this hybrid international event. You will agree, friends, that 2021 has started to give us a sense of hope and confidence. As millions of people are being vaccinated around the country, we are hoping for some dynamic action from the government to chart a path of recovery of our industry to re-establish this industry. The timing of this event syncs with the recovery phase and is an opportune time for policymakers and thought leaders to come together and enable tourism to revive. For us to revive the tourism industry and save millions of jobs, we look forward for 3 action points from our policymakers. Number 1, restarting e-tourist visas. Number 2, reinstatement of scheduled international flights, at least to those countries with which India has an air bubble arrangement, with the necessary precautions of safety and following all protocols, so that those who are willing to travel have the opportunity to travel again. Modification of policies. Number 3, modification of policies to help subside or reduce the financial burden in the sector. We hope that this unique buyer-seller meet taking place will result in new opportunities for Indian hoteliers, Indian tour operators, Indian transporters, tourist guides, and millions of people associated with all segments of this dynamic tourism industry, who are now more than ever. Friends, this is the time now more than ever to collaborate our efforts towards business recovery. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope ITM 2021 is the light at the end of the tunnel for the industry of India. To our international buyers, we are thankful to you for joining us in our hope, for joining us in our dream, and for choosing to market India, which is truly incredible. Thank you. Jai Hind and Namaste.
We would now request the address by Mr. Amitabh Kant, CEO Niti Aayog, who has long helped and guided the tourism industry of India. Mr. Amitabh Kant, please. Thank you very much.
Mr. Subhash Goyal, Mr. Nakul Anand, Mr. Arvind Singh, the new very dynamic Tourism Secretary of the Government of India, Meenakshi, all the distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first compliment the tourism industry for getting together and organizing this event. I've been a long-term believer in the huge multiplier impact of travel and tourism. The sector accounts for almost close to about 9.5 to 10% of India's GDP. It contributes to about 8.1% of India's employment. And it has huge impact across several sectors of the economy. I have no doubt, that while the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted several sectors of Indian economy, it has detrimentally impacted travel and tourism the most. And there's no doubt in our mind that COVID-19 pandemic has had very, very adverse impact on travel and tourism, not merely in India, but globally. But I have also no doubt in my mind that tourism will bounce back with a vengeance, and that tourism will drive India's recovery both in terms of employment and in terms of growth in the coming years. And actually, to my mind, the best of tourism will be seen in the next decade, as it will grow and expand in a manner in which we can never envisage there will be so much of desire and demand for people to travel around, both domestically and internationally, that the whole world will travel, as we are seeing today in the domestic market. The people want to travel. I didn't move around for a long period of time, but I've, in recent times, traveled to Kurg, I've traveled to Hampi, I've traveled to Badami, Aihole, I've traveled to Uttarakhand, and I've discovered India in the manner in which I'd never done before. And therefore, all Indians are rediscovering India. And to my mind, as we roll out, as the COVID-19 subsides and as the vaccination is rolled out, both in India and across the world, and because India has huge vaccination capacity, it is the vaccine capital of the world, and as India spreads vaccines both domestically and across the world, and it'll accelerate the pace of vaccinations slowly, as it does that, you will see travel rise in a very big way, both in India and abroad. And I'm sure that all of us will see a resurgence of travel and tourism in a manner. I have no doubt in my mind that it'll be very difficult to accelerate India's growth to high levels of 9 to 10% over a long period of time without travel and tourism not being a key driver and a key determinant of growth of India. And therefore, tourism will grow in a there has to be no doubt in our mind that tourism will bounce back in a very, very huge manner. And all of you will see very good times. There's nothing to be despondent about. You will see very, very good times in the coming years. And this will continue for a very, very long period. This is once-in-a-life pandemic, which has impacted everyone. But you will see growth consecutively for several years, and you should prepare yourself for that growth which will come in the coming years. The other point I want to make is that it's important to understand that government intervention is necessary, but it should come at the right time. And therefore, all of us will work with the travel and tourism industry. Secondly, it's also important to understand that tourism never works in isolation. Tourism is a function of several other sectors of the economy. And actually what the government is doing in terms of building up the national infrastructure pipeline, in terms of creation of vast number of highways and expressways, bringing in private sector play in airports and doing asset monetization and creating experiences across the country. And this huge focus, which you've seen in this new budget across revival of both infrastructure to world-class standards in a very big way, and the whole emphasis in this budget has been an infrastructure-driven budget, is actually will be a very key catalyst of growth of travel and tourism in the coming days. And therefore, my belief is that as India grows, as you see this whole revival of India's economy, as you see infrastructure being built up, travel and tourism will be a very, very key driver. I can assure you that government is fully aware of the very many challenges. We had taken several decisions prior to the COVID. We reduced the visa rates. We had reduced the GST on rooms. We had reduced the GST on even, on both bigger, on the five-star hotels and on hotels which are less than 3-star. We had brought in, we had reduced visa fees very radically. We had created a new class of visa for a month. All these were measures which will pay you all rich dividends. But I can assure you that government is fully aware of the very many challenges that all of you are facing. We will discuss with you, and I'm sure that we'll all work in partnership with the Ministry of Tourism and the Ministry of Finance to provide all the necessary support to the travel and tourism industry to grow and keep expanding in the years to come. But I can assure you, all I can assure you is that the government is fully live, it's fully kicking, it's fully supportive, and as we see this growth in domestic tourism, as international travel opens up, all the issues which Mr. Subhash Goyal has raised about e-visa, about opening up travel to countries with which you have air bubbles, all of these we'll consider very, very favorably and take all positive measures to give a massive impetus to travel and tourism in the days to come. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Kant. We never cease to learn and never cease to get inspired. Thank you very much for your very strong message of inspiration and partnership. We will now begin, on that note, we will now begin with the lamp lighting ceremony, and we would request Tourism Secretary to lead the way, please, along with the Faith Board and the Chairman of the Faith Board, please. Thank you very much.
शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
Thank you so much, Secretary Singh, Chairman Nakul, and the whole Faith Board and the leadership of Ministry of Tourism. Thank you so very much. This is a very strong partnership, and we are now going to take this forward to the next step. Can I invite Chairman of Faith, Nakul Anand, to share the opening remarks, please. Thank you, Nakul.
Morning, everybody. A silent intruder infiltrated the world. This invisible enemy, stealthily creeping where it likes, has mocked our equipment and our weapons, laughed at our real and artificial intelligence. Our physical and digital security systems were rendered useless. Face masks were the only barrier and isolation the only remedy. This, by far, was the worst international crisis the world has faced, or tourism has faced, since records began in 1950. Never before has the world's population been held back at home, nations come to a standstill, and the most joyful activity that bridged geography and borders was washed away with tears. There are decades where nothing happens, and then there are weeks where decades happen, rightly said by Lenin. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and those joining us virtually. Joining us virtually also is Shri Prahlad Singh Patel, the Honorable Minister of State for Tourism. Thank you, sir, for being a part of this journey. Mr. Arvind Singh, Secretary, Ministry of Tourism. Mrs. Meenakshi Sharma, Director General, Ministry of Tourism. Meenakshi ji, before I introduce the others, on behalf of the entire tourism fraternity, we thank you for all your support and guidance. We wish you the very best in your new role, ma'am, and we know that you will be an ambassador for tourism wherever you go. Mrs. Rupinder Barar, Additional Director General, Ministry of Tourism, and Mr. Rakesh Verma, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Tourism, who's worked very hard with our team to put this together. On behalf of FAITH, the Federation of Associations of Indian Tourism and Hospitality, I welcome you all to ITM 2021. FAITH is the policy federation of 10 national associations representing the complete tourism, travel, and hospitality industry of India. All 10 FAITH presidents have greatly contributed to making FAITH the industry spokesman. I would request each president to kindly introduce their organization as I name them in 1 minute. Mrs. Jyoti Mayal, Vice Chairman FAITH and President, Travel Agents Association of India.
Thank you, Nakul, Chairman. I'm Jyoti Mayal. I'm the President of the Travel Agents Association of India and also the Vice Chairperson of FAITH. TAI is the oldest nodal body established in 1951 with a handful of people, and now we have a huge membership of 3,000, which are our strength. And we actually are established in 20 region chapters of the country, and we are into all businesses of travel and tourism, right from leisure to the corporate to the MICE and more of. We have evolved with time and are always keen to forge ahead in a manner that brings in a solid partnership domestically and globally. Tourism, we believe, is a continuous learning, and to innovate is a process, and thus emphasize on skilling and upskilling. We offer our members support, strength, motivation, and a very ease of business to sustain a healthy and a revenue generating model. I wish a successful ITM to all of us, all presidents sitting here and watching the event virtually, our members and others of the other people of the industry, and a very fruitful 3 days of exploration of business and new opportunities. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Jyoti. Mr. Amrish Tiwari, who's Vice Chairman ICPB and Co-Chairman of the ITM 2021, who's worked relentlessly. He wakes us up at 1 o'clock in the morning with his messages, giving us what the count for the day is. Thank you, Amrish. Over to you. Thank you, Jyoti. Mr. Amrish Tiwari, who's Vice Chairman ICPB and Co-Chairman of the ITM 2021, who's worked relentlessly. He wakes us up at 1 o'clock in the morning with his messages, giving us what the count for the day is. Thank you, Amrish. Over to you.
Hi. Good morning, everyone. My name is Amrish Tiwari. On behalf of India Convention Promotion Bureau, I welcome you all. ICPB is a nodal agency which is promoting and marketing India as a MICE destination. GS Tourism is our chairman, and under his able guidance, we are doing whatever best we can do. And thank you all for joining here. So this is one of the example, and my colleague Girish Quatra is here, Mr. Chandraman Sarmani is here. Thank you all for ICPB.
Thank you, Amrish. Dada, as we lovingly call him, Mr. Pranav Sarkar, is the president of the Indian Association of Tour Operators. Dada, over to you.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. Honorable Minister, sir, virtually, Mr. Goel, all dignitaries on the dais, all the delegations and friends from the industry, I thank you very much for this opportunity to participate in ITM. I am the president for Indian Association of Tour Operators, and we have about 1,700 membership who are soldiers for Indian tourism, especially the inbound tourism they are looking after. We have membership pan-India, and we support our membership for all aspects of the industry. They are all reliable tour operators recognized by Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, so you can rely on their services. We are at present giving our information to them with the new normals and to follow the new SOPs during this pandemic situation and be ready for the tourism to open up and ready for services. We have also written to the Government of India to vaccinate our frontline workers who are interacting at the airports, hotels, and guide services at the monuments. So we expect that we should be ready as soon as the international airlines and the visas are open. I wish ITM a great success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dada. The Adventure Tour Operators Association of India recently had their election, and Mr. Vishwas Makhija was elected president. And we welcome him here for the first time on this dais. But before I hand over the mic to Mr. Makhija, Captain Sudesh, who was representing Adventure Tour Operators Association in Faith, Captains up. We are most grateful to you for all your contribution and insights, and thank you for everything. Vishwasji, over to you.
Hello. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues on the dais. On behalf of all our members of Adventure Tour Operators Association of India, welcome to this historic event. Historic because despite all challenges, the Indian tourism industry came together to deliver this show-causing our incredible country. The past year, I think our industry has failed to the depths we could never imagine, you know. It did not matter if you were big or small. It did not matter if you were a hotel or an airline. It did not matter if you were inbound, outbound mice. Every one of us has been equally affected by the economic impacts. And in this pandemic, it is faith that brought all of us together, collectively lobbying for the industry, for our survival. In unity, we have strength and wisdom, as we always say. It is a different matter that we had challenges in putting up things forward with the government, but surely they had their reasons, and they've been there at the back end, trying to find solutions for the industry. Like many of my ATY colleagues, I started my career as a camp boy in the Western Himalayas, doing odd jobs as a trekking guide at the age of 17. We adventurers live our lives under the blue skies, twinkling stars. Our hearts beat in unison with babbling brooks and the winds of the Himalayas. Our happiness lies in the bounty of Mother Nature that puts before us. The pandemic brought the world face to face with the might and beauty of nature. People across all walks of life started appreciating our planet a little bit more. We in the adventure travel saw so many new converts from the comfort zones of our cities to the serene space of the outdoors.
Is that the place for it?
So for all the havoc that the pandemic has brought upon our industry, we in the adventure travel have seen a new respect for what we do and deliver. And in that, we have seen even greater opportunities for our adventure travel segment. I'm sure my colleagues sitting here would agree to that. I invite you all to come and explore with us the vastness of our nation, all our friends who've joined us from all around the world this morning. There is nothing that India does not offer to anyone who seeks an experience in adventure, soft or extreme. From expedition in the Himalayas in the north to nature walks in the Vindhyas in the south. To exciting biking trails in Arunachal to the deserts of Rajasthan. India has so much to offer and so much is still unexplored. We at ATOI invite you on a journey of discovery. Reach out to any of our members who will not only take you personally on new paths of discovery, but also help you create new and exciting products to offer your clients. We must all embrace an attitude of cooperation and work together. There is no other way. I would make a quote from Nelson Mandela. Once he said, "The greatest glory in living lies not in never failing, but rising every time we fall." And together we will rise upwards and downwards. God bless faith and God bless the Indian industry. Thank you.
Thank you, Vishwasji. We have with us Mr. P.P. Khanna, who is the president of the Association of Domestic Tour Operators of India. But before I request him to say a few words, on behalf of the entire tourism fraternity, Khanna Sahab, we'd like to thank you for the convention that you've just held. You've demonstrated that things are getting back to normal. 400 people gathered together in what was rated as perhaps the most successful convention in Gujarat that was held. And a big hand to you for that, sir. Over to you, Mr. Khanna.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. And I am really thankful to our Tourism Secretary, Shri Arvind Singh Ji, and Additional Director General, Mrs. Barar, for joining our convention. And no doubt, I think we wanted to open the gates for the tourism, and we have done it. And I really request everybody that if we really, adhere to all the norms which are required for the, the tourism, we can do all the wonders. And we have done it, and I am really thankful to all my colleagues, all my fraternity, the Ministry of Tourism, the Gujarat Tourism, those who have made it successful. As everybody knows, that I represent Domestic Tour Operators of India, and today we are here to highlight exactly what is domestic tourism. After pandemic, everybody knows that domestic tourism is the only engine to emerge as a key driver for the economic growth. We at ATOI promote hotels, resorts from budget to luxury, domestic airlines, rail, roads, transport, beaches, deserts, hills, adventure, camps, rural tourism, along with MICE wedding, which is the huge in India to encourage Indians to travel within India, which shall enhance the local economy and employment for locals. We are vocal for the locals to generate opportunities for Indians, promote Dekho Apna Desh, Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Khanna Sahab. ITA, that's the Indian Tourist Transport Association, as it is popularly known, is represented by its president, Mr. Satish Sehrawat. A few words from you, sir.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. As everybody knows that we went through a very bad phase. So let's forget it. Under the leadership of Chairman, sir, Ministry of Tourism, it's the right time to move on, join hands together, and work in a positive manner and achieve the targets which we left behind. I'm quite sure that under the leadership of all senior members and the presidents and heads of other associates sitting across, we would be able to achieve this. And we as ITA is always there to support tourism and achieve the milestone and fill the gaps which happened. So let's forget the past and move on. Thank you.
Thank you. Joining us virtually is Mr. Gurbakh Singh Kohli of FHRAI. I don't think we've got through as a connection to him, but he represents FHRAI, another very old and large association. But I do see Mr. Randhir Vikram Singh, who is the president of the Indian Heritage Hotels Association, which is IHHA, and I think he's joining us from Jaipur. Am I right, Randhir? Ajmer?
No, Jaipur.
You're on mute? Jaipur, okay.
Jaipur.
Over to you, Randhir ji.
Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, I'll come back.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Indian Heritage Hotel Association represents one of its kind products of the country. That is, heritage hotels which operate in stunning locations like forts, castles, palaces, hunting lodges, and traditional habitats or period buildings. So, each hotel offers a distinct experience that delves into the rich culture, history, and heritage of India. Membership of this association is testimony to the fact that the properties have a certain authentic character of the period as well as the location. In many ways, the members of this association enhance the cultural preservation, traditions, traditional crafts, fairs and festivals, and creative activities of the bygone era. Thank you so much, and all the best for this.
Thank you. I see we have Mr. Gurbakh Singh Kohli, who is the president of FHRAI. He's joined us.
Thank you, Nakulji. And it's my pleasure to be, though virtually, connected with all of you. I welcome this move of the ITM. It gives us great pleasure to the entire tourism and hospitality industry to see that we are moving forward. As you know, we are a resilient industry. We do not brood over our past. What we need to do is as Sehrawatji said, that we need to move forward and forget what has happened and prove to the world that tourism can definitely and is and definitely will be one of the drivers of the economy in the future. I congratulate everybody and all the presidents in the dais and also virtually representing their organizations. And I request the government to just give us that little impetus so that we can prove that we can all work together and get this pandemic behind us. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Gurbakh Singh ji. Mr. Puneet Chitwal is the president of the Hotel Association of India. Unfortunately, he couldn't be present, and I'm representing my president. HAI has more than 250 members. Last but not the least, Mr. Teddy Thomas represents TAFI, which is the Travel Agents Federation of India, and he's representing it on behalf of his acting president, Mr. Pradeep Lula. I see that we have in the audience Mr. Vivek Agarwal, who's the partner of KPMG. KPMG has worked very, very closely with us in putting this together. May I please request Mr. Vivek Agarwal to come and take his place on the dais. Ladies and gentlemen, before I continue, I see that the Honorable Minister has already joined us. And Minister, Honorable Minister, we are most grateful to you. We know how keen you were to make sure that this, and rightly so, that this is a physical event and not a virtual event. Unfortunately, duty beckoned and you had to rush off to Madhya Pradesh. But we must compliment you. You were constantly in touch with us over the last 24 hours and promised us that you would do this virtually. You've lived up to your promise, sir. Now over to you to address the travel fraternity.
Honorable Minister, Namaste. Can we request you to share your thoughts, please, and inaugurate the summit? Namaste.
Yes, sir. शुरू करें तो मुझे ही बोलना है?
हाँ जी सर.
चलिए. आप सबको मैं इंडिया टूरिज्म मार्ट 2021 की, कुछ लोग वर्चुअल हैं, बाकी लोग हमारे सभी फिजिकल इसमें जुड़े हुए हैं. पर्यटन मंत्रालय और फेथ दोनों के सम्मिलित प्रयास में मैं आप सबका स्वागत करता हूं, अभिनंदन करता हूं. और एक बात के लिए मैं क्षमा प्रार्थी हूं कि मुझे आज वहां प्रत्यक्ष उपस्थित रहना था, पर मध्य प्रदेश की घटना आप सबकी जानकारी में होगी. एक बड़े पैमाने पर यहाँ ओलावृष्टि भी हुई है, उस कारण से मैं आपके बीच में उपस्थित नहीं हो सका. अन्यथा मेरा ही आग्रह था कि वर्चुअल ना हो, ये कार्यक्रम फिजिकल होना चाहिए. विदेश के लोग भले वर्चुअल जुड़े, लेकिन इसके तमाम हमारे स्टेक होल्डर्स इसमें भागीदार हों, ताकि हम खुले मन से इस पर विचार विमर्श कर सकें. यहाँ पर उपस्थित सुभाष गोयल जी, नकुल आनंद जी, हमारे जॉइंट सेक्रेटरी वर्मा जी, अन्ना आशीष गुप्ता जी, ऋषि मौर्य सहित फेथ के सभी सहयोगी वृंद. इस कार्यक्रम में आदरणीय डॉक्टर हर्षवर्धन जी भी जुड़ने वाले हैं. तो विभागीय मंत्री होने के नाते वो भले बाद में शामिल होंगे, मैं उनका हृदय से आपके माध्यम से स्वागत करता हूं. मुझे बहुत लंबी बात नहीं करनी है, लेकिन जो संख्या मेरे पास आई है उसके मुताबिक लगभग 400 से ज्यादा लोग इसमें हिस्सेदार होंगे. लगातार हम आपस में संवाद इस विषम परिस्थिति में बनाए रखे, और आपने, हमारे सभी स्टेक होल्डर्स ने जो संयम रखा, देश के आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री पर जो भरोसा जताते हुए इतने बड़े नुकसान के बावजूद भी आप पूरी ईमानदारी के साथ देश की इस परिस्थिति में अपना रचनात्मक सहयोग भी देते थे. कोरोना के बीच में ऐसा कोई व्यक्ति नहीं है हमारे स्टेक होल्डर्स जिसने लोगों की मदद ना की. वो जो दूसरी बड़ी सफलता मैं मानता हूं वो ये है कि जो हमारी होटल इंडस्ट्री है उसका जो अतिथि भाव था, उसने विदेशी पर्यटकों को जिस प्रकार से लुभाया, और विदेशी पर्यटकों ने ये फैसला किया कि वो अपने देश में जाने से ज्यादा सुरक्षित और बेहतर वो भारत में मानते हैं. इस बात के लिए मैं आप सबको हृदय से बधाई देता हूँ. ये सच है कि इस कोरोना के बीच में बहुत सारी परिस्थितियों में कुछ अमूल चूल सा परिवर्तन आया है. मैं नुकसान और भरपाई की बातों में जाना नहीं चाहता, लेकिन जब भी मुझे प्रतिनिधिमंडल मिला तो उन बातों को पूरी जिम्मेदारी के साथ में माननीय वित्त मंत्री हों, सरकार के सामने. लेकिन जब हम घरेलू पर्यटन की बात करते हैं, जिसकी चर्चा आज होगी, मैं 2-3 चीजें आपको कहना चाहता हूँ. वो संसद के पटल पर भी मैंने कही, एक मौखिक उत्तर में भी मैंने ये बात कही है. अगर आपको स्मरण हो तो मैंने एक बात जिम्मेदारी से कही थी कि जो 2014 से 2019 के बीच में भारत की छलांग है, 65वें स्थान से 24वें स्थान में। अब जो हमारे 5 वर्ष थे, इसमें मानकर चल रहे थे कि 34वें से हम एक की तरफ आगे बढ़ेंगे। तो मैंने कहा था कि मैं इस आंकड़े को बदलने के लिए तैयार हूं। उस समय कोई ठौर दिख नहीं रहा था कि कब पर्यटन खुलेगा, कब देशी और विदेशी पर्यटक हमारे यहाँ पर जाएंगे, ये तय नहीं था। क्योंकि मुझे एक आंकड़ा जरूर भरोसा दे रहा था कि जो वो 2 करोड़ से ज्यादा लोग देश के बाहर जाते हैं, दुनिया की स्थिति अभी भी उतनी तरह से उसी परिस्थिति की चिंताजनक स्थिति में है जो शायद आज से 6 महीने पहले थी। लेकिन कुछ लोगों ने पर्यटन को खोलना शुरू किया है। लेकिन मैं भारत सरकार के मुखिया आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का आभारी हूँ कि वैक्सीन में भी हमने बहुत जल्दबाजी नहीं दिखाई जो बाकी उन्नत देशों ने। और उसके कारण जो दुनिया में हमारी साख बनी है, वो साख आसमान छू रही है। कोरोना का ये काल आर्थिक रूप से सभी पूरी दुनिया के स्टेक होल्डर्स के नुकसानदेह, वैसे उसके शिकार हम भी। लेकिन जो रिपोर्ट्स आ रही है, कोई 70%, कोई 72%, लेकिन हमारा जो नुकसान है वो 53 से लेकर 60 के बीच अलग अलग सेक्टर्स में। मैं आपको विषय चर्चा के लिए ये छेड़ना चाहता हूँ कि देश को अब हम यूनिवर्सल तरीके से अभी नहीं देख पाएंगे पर्यटन को ध्यान रखते, क्योंकि आज भी हमारे महानगर और इन महानगरों में बड़े जो होटल्स के ग्रुप्स हैं, वो अभी भी चुनौती उनके सामने जस की तरह से थोड़ा बहुत कम हुई है। और 2 राज्य ऐसे हैं, महाराष्ट्र और केरल, जहां पर परिस्थिति हमारे अभी भी नहीं है। लेकिन जो दूसरे आंकड़े हैं वो उत्साहवर्धक है, चाहे वो गोवा की बात करूं मैं, उत्तराखंड, हिमाचल, विशेषकर जम्मू कश्मीर। मैंने जम्मू कश्मीर के आंकड़े को जानबूझकर इसलिए लिए कि लोग बार बार धारा 370 को लेकर जो चर्चाएं कर रहे थे या जो नकारात्मक चर्चाएं हो रही थी, इस आंकड़े ने उन सब बातों को झुठला दिया। मैं कारगिल में साहसिक पर्यटन के कार्यक्रम में गया था, और जब मैं लौट रहा था तो श्रीनगर एयरपोर्ट पर गया, तो वहां जो एयरपोर्ट अथॉरिटी के लोग थे, उन्होंने कहा कि मैंने अपने जीवन में 16 वर्षों में ऐसा ट्रैफिक नहीं देखा। तो मैंने उस आंकड़े को बुलाया। मैं वो आंकड़े आपको आपके सामने रखता हूँ। श्रीनगर में जनवरी 2020 में 4,500 पर्यटक गए थे, और जनवरी 2021 में वो संख्या 19,042। श्रीनगर में उस समय अमरनाथ यात्रा थी, तब जनवरी 2020 में 9,27,000 पर्यटक गए थे। इस बार अमरनाथ यात्रा नहीं हुई, लेकिन 7,29,000 पर्यटक जम्मू की धरती पर गए। नॉर्थ ईस्ट ने अगर ओपन किया होता, जो वहाँ की सिविल सोसाइटीज है, अगर उन्होंने दबाव न बनाया होता, तो शायद हम लुक ईस्ट की बजाय एक्ट ईस्ट की तरह हम स्लोगन को शायद सार्थक कर पाते। लेकिन अभी भी उसमें थोड़े गतिरोध है। मुझे लगता है कि अब वो शुरू तैयार हुए, तो हम कहीं ना कहीं इस बात को आगे बढ़ाएंगे। दूसरा, मैं इन स्टेक होल्डर्स में टूर एंड ट्रेवल की चर्चा करना चाहूंगा कि वास्तव में जैसे अगर मैं देखूं कि पिछले 4 महीने जब हम पर्यटन मंत्रालय की बात करते हैं, तो हमारे पास में 1400 होटल का बैंक था। लेकिन जैसे ही निधि पोर्टल शुरू हुआ, तो वो संख्या 37,000 को पार कर। जैसे ही वो संख्या 16,000 पार की थी, पर्यटन मंत्रालय के हमारे तमाम ऑफिसर्स ने एक दूसरा साथी पोर्टल बनाया कि जो लोग एसओपी को अडॉप्ट करते हैं, वो लोग उसमें पंजीयन कराएं। वो संख्या भी अब 9,000 के आसपास है। जब मैंने राज्य के पर्यटन मंत्रियों से 2 दिन में बात की थी, पूरे देश के पर्यटन मंत्रियों से, तब जब ये बात चर्चा में आई थी, तब मैंने उनसे बड़ी विनम्रता से कहा था कि साथी और निधि के बीच के गैप को अगर हमने भर लिया, तो शायद दुनिया में हमारी साख और भी ऊपर जाएगी। लेकिन उस समय गोवा के पर्यटन मंत्री ने एक बड़ा बढ़िया आंकड़ा दिया था कि बोले सरकारी तौर पर जो आंकड़े हम इकट्ठे करते हैं, मुझे लगता है ये सोर्स पर भी चर्चा होनी चाहिए। तीसरा आंकड़ा मेरा आपसे है, क्योंकि हमारे पास जो आंकड़े आते हैं जिनको हम संसद के पटल पर रखते हैं, उनकी ऑथेंटिसिटी को लेकर अभी भी क्वेश्चन मार्क। और ये आंकड़ा दिया गोवा के पर्यटन मंत्री ने, उन्होंने कहा कि हमारे पास में जो फुटफॉल की जानकारी है वो लगभग 90 लाख एक साल के भीतर। लेकिन निधि के रजिस्ट्रेशन के बाद जो होटल के मालिकों ने उनको आंकड़ा दिया है, वो तो आश्चर्यजनक है। वो कहते हैं 1,40,50,00,000 50 लाख रुपया। तो मुझे लगता है कि इतना जो गैप है, इसमें भी कहीं ना कहीं हमको तमाम स्टेक होल्डर्स को इसकी चिंता करनी पड़ेगी। हमने जो पोर्टल खोले हैं उसमें कहीं भी अफसरशाही नहीं है। अभी बीच में हमारे जो रीजनल टूरिज्म, इंडिया टूरिज्म के हमारे ऑफिसर्स हैं, उन पर भी हमने कोशिश की कि चीजें उससे बाहर आए। मैं आपको एक चौथा प्रस्ताव आपको देता हूँ कि फेथ हो या अन्य कोई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, जो होटल के ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, उन सबको कहीं ना कहीं एक बैंक बनाकर हमको देना चाहिए। वो संख्या 50 हो सकती है, वो संख्या 100 हो सकती है। अगर आप होटल के मालिकों को 3 स्टार, 4 स्टार या 5 स्टार का वो परमिशन देना चाहते हैं, तो अधिकारी क्यों जाना चाहिए? मैं मानता हूँ उस बैंक में से अगर कोई केरल का होटल का मालिक है और वो अपने को क्लासिफिकेशन के लिए आवेदन करना चाहता है, केरल राज्य के लोग जो उस बैंक में होंगे होटल के, उनको छोड़कर उस बैंक में से किसी एक का नाम वो चुन ले, उसकी चॉइस है होटल मालिक की। एक मिनिस्ट्री उसमें डाल देगी, एक और आपको करना है तो 3 कर दीजिए। वो जाए, एक बार रिपोर्ट दें सरकार को, अगर अनुकूल रिपोर्ट मिलती है तो वो उसको स्टार मिल जाना चाहिए, क्लासिफिकेशन हो जाना चाहिए। मुझे लगता है कि हमारे पास में मैन पावर कम है, लेकिन और ज्यादा प्रैक्टिकल ये होगा कि ये दबाव चलता है, ये दबाव शायद समाप्त हो जाए। होटल के कैटेगराइजेशन के लिए होटल मालिक से अच्छा कोई दूसरा तो हो नहीं सकता। कि अगर किसी को लगता है कि नहीं साहब इनमें से सारे लोगों से हम किसी को वो नहीं करते, और वो कहता है कि हमें टूरिज्म मिनिस्ट्री का, इंडिया टूरिज्म का अधिकारी चाहिए, अधिकारी भेजने के लिए तैयार है। मुझे लगता है कुछ ऐसे प्रयोगों की तरफ हमें आगे बढ़ना चाहिए। 5वीं बात कहकर मैं अपनी बात खत्म करूँ। हम जब टूर एंड ट्रेवलर्स की बात करते हैं, तो मैं उनसे ही विनती करूंगा कि जैसे निधि और साथी पर होटल के मालिकों ने, यानी होटल के ग्रुप्स ने अपने आप को पंजीयन कराया है, एक बार टूर एंड ट्रेवलर्स की भी कहीं ना कहीं इनरोलमेंट होनी चाहिए। क्योंकि इस बीच में अगर हम किसी की ज्यादा मदद नहीं कर पाए तो उसके पीछे इस बैंक का, इस नंबर का ना होना एक बड़ी चुनौती है। बार बार वित्त मंत्री कहते थे कि आप हमें नंबर तो दीजिए, तो हम उसमें कोई रास्ता निकालें। ये डेटा हमारे पास भी नहीं है, आपके पास होगा, लेकिन हम मिलकर इस रास्ते पर भी जाएं। हमारे पास में गाइड एक बड़ा कंपोनेंट है, उस पर भी एक विवाद चल रहा था, वो विवाद लगभग समाप्त हो गया है। रीजनल गाइड्स को हमने रीजनल गाइड्स की अनुमति दी है, लेकिन टूरिस्ट फैसिलिटेटर कोर्स जो फरवरी में इसके एग्जाम हो जाएंगे और एक बैच निकलेगा 5,000, 5,500। तो उसके बाद में अगर उनको गाइड बनना है तो एक लेवल ऊपर जाए, क्योंकि प्रधानमंत्री जी का मानना है कि यूएन की भाषा का एक की जानकारी इस गाइड को जरूर होनी चाहिए। दूसरा, हमने एएसआई के मॉन्यूमेंट्स पर कहा है कि जो भी हमारा कर्मचारी है, चाहे वो संविदा में हो, चाहे एमटीएस हो, हम उसको टूरिस्ट फैसिलिटेटर कोर्स कराएंगे ताकि उसकी कैपेबिलिटी पर क्वेश्चन मार्क ना। हमने ये भी कहा कि जो प्राइवेट सुरक्षा कर्मी हायर करती है, एएसआई बहुत संख्या भी बहुत बड़ी है, उनको भी हमने कहा कि कंपलसरी उनको भी कोर्स करना। अगर उन्हें गाइड बनना है तो उनको एक लेवल ऊपर जाना पड़ेगा, वो ऑनलाइन व्यवस्था है। और मुझे लगता है कि जब भी हमारे फेथ के ऑफिस बेरर्स हो या बाकी, उनके सामने भी ये चुनौती आती होगी कि कई बार बड़े ग्रुप विदेशों से आते हैं और उसके बाद में अगर वो 50 का ग्रुप और वो चाहते कि साथ दो के बीच में हमको एक व्यक्ति चाहिए, तो हम आसानी से उसको उपलब्ध नहीं कराएंगे। शायद इस समस्या का समाधान होगा। मैंने बुद्धिज्म को लेकर फोकस किया था, एएसआई ने साइनेज लगाए थे। हमारी पॉलिसी बड़ी साफ है, 1 लाख से ज्यादा फुटफॉल विदेशी पर्यटक का जिस मॉन्यूमेंट में होगा, अगर वो हिंदी और अंग्रेजी में कंफर्टेबल नहीं है तो हम उसकी भाषा में साइनेज लगाएंगे। अर्थ है कि एक फुटफॉल 1 लाख से ज्यादा उस स्थान पर होना चाहिए। वो हमने सांची से शुरू किया था शहरी भाषा में, बाकी जगह पर चाइनीज भाषा में है। तो मुझे लगता है कि इस ढंग के भी आपकी इस चर्चा में कुछ सुझाव निकल कर आएंगे। मंत्रालय उन सुझावों का स्वागत करता है, स्वागत करेगा। मैं चाहता हूं कि इन बातों को लेकर एक आखिरी जो एडवेंचर टूरिज्म से जुड़े हुए लोग होंगे, मैं उनसे भी ये विनती करूंगा कि बड़ी चुनौती है कि उत्तराखंड और हिमाचल ने कुछ एक्ट बनाए हैं, लेकिन बाकी जगह पर अभी वैसी तैयारी नहीं है, उनका एनरोलमेंट भी नहीं है। तो जब एक्सीडेंट्स होते हैं तो हम सबकी आलोचना होती है, जितने लोग हम सब यहाँ उपस्थित हैं। अगर कोई भी गलती होती है तो आलोचना हम सबकी ही होती है, और उसमें मैं मानता हूँ कि मंत्रालय एक स्टेक होल्डर है। और इसलिए मैं इस कार्यक्रम के उद्घाटन के अवसर पर मैं आप सबका हृदय से अभिनंदन करता हूँ, स्वागत करता हूँ, शुभकामनाएं देता हूँ, और यही निवेदन करता हूँ कि इन बिंदुओं पर आपकी चर्चा होगी और इन चर्चा से जो भी सार निकलेगा, जो हमारे अधिकारीगण वहां मौजूद है, ये नोट्स बनाएंगे। आपको लगता है कि कोई ब्रीफ आपको देना है, तो मैं समझता हूँ कि इस ITM के बाद इस परंपरा को भी आप शुरू कर सकते हैं कि आप मंत्रालय को एक ब्रीफ बनाकर दे दें कि इसका कंक्लूजन हमने ये निकाला है और मुझे लगता है कि इसको विचार करना चाहिए। मैं इसको सकारात्मक मानूंगा और मैं हम दोनों मिलकर जो काम कर रहे हैं वो सबके मिला जुला काम देश के लिए है। आपका धन्यवाद करके अपनी बात को समाप्त करता हूँ। वंदे मातरम।
थैंक यू वेरी मच मंत्री जी। आप हमारे टूरिज्म डिपार्टमेंट, हमारे टूरिज्म इंडस्ट्री का कद हमेशा ऊंचा रखते हैं। बहुत धन्यवाद। और आपने जो हमें सजेशन दिया है, सजेशन
मैं एक बीच में इंटर कर रहा हूँ। मैंने भी फोटो में देखा तो शायद कमला राव बैठे हैं, इसमें मुझे कहीं दिख नहीं रहे थे। ऐसे बहुत सारे लोग छूट गए होंगे जिनका मैंने नाम नहीं लिया।
अच्छा, हाँ जी। आपने जो हमें आज सजेशन दिया है कि हम आपको ब्रीफ दें, हम बिल्कुल देंगे। एंड आई थिंक दिस इज़ अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग पार्टनरशिप दैट वी विल टेक फॉरवर्ड। बहुत धन्यवाद सर हमारा इसका उद्घाटन करने के लिए। कैन वी कॉल नेक्स्ट द होल कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ द टूरिज्म मार्ट वाज लेड फ्रॉम थॉट टू फिनिश बाय a very strong focus on developing content, and to that we are extremely indebted to Joint Secretary Rakesh Kumar, and we would like him to come and share his vision and thought on the same.
Thank you, Ashish. Shri Prahlad Singh Patel, Honorable Minister of State for Tourism and Culture, Independent Charge, who has joined us virtually from his constituency. Shri Arvind Singh, Secretary Tourism. Shri Nakul Anand, Chairman Faith. Ms. Meenakshi Sharma, DG Tourism. Ms. Rupinder Barad, Additional DG Tourism. Shri Subhash Goyal, Chairman ITM 2021. Shri Amresh Tiwari, Co-Chairman ITM 2021. Members of Faith Board, members from industry, members from media, and my colleagues from the ministry. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. At the outset, I would like to congratulate Faith leadership for organizing India Tourism Mart during these difficult times. Physical inauguration of ITM is a signal to the world that we are ready for business. Few days back, the Indian Domestic Tour Operators Association had successfully organized their annual convention in physical format. The message was loud and clear that it is now safe to travel and tour in India. The revenge tourism which our domestic segment is witnessing does bring us confidence that inbound tourism will also revive and recover in not too distant a future. This year, as part of ITM, apart from B2B meetings, a tourism leadership conclave is also being organized. I am thankful to ITM leadership who agreed with the suggestion and got KPMG on board to facilitate the leadership conclave. The theme for the conclave is Atmanirbhar Bharat, Realizing India's Tourism Potential, which is inspired by the vision of Honorable Prime Minister. Turning the crisis of pandemic into an opportunity, Honorable Prime Minister has given the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat, which rests on the 5 pillars of economy, infrastructure, systems, demography, and demand. India's quest for self-reliance is about creating strong enterprises in India, enterprises that can become global forces. Self-reliance is about generating employment and empowering our people to come out and create solutions that can define the future of our country. A thriving tourism industry is of vital importance for India's journey towards $5 trillion economy. With the mantra of vocal for local, India seeks to attain Atmanirbhar Bharat by realizing its full potential as a tourism destination. The leadership conclave will have keynote sessions, sectoral sessions, state sessions, and technical sessions. All the presidents of faith associations have agreed to moderate respective sessions. Renowned speakers from industry, international organizations, government, and experts will be sharing their thoughts in various sessions. ITM 2021 Leadership Conclave brings together 12 sessions with over 70 speakers within 3 days, delivering several hours of thought-provoking content from a diverse range of topics. The keynote session of The keynote sessions at ITM will provide insights into the big picture and future vision for Indian tourism as we come out of pandemic. The sectoral sessions will discuss and deliberate roadmaps and challenges for various segments of tourism industry, namely cultural tourism, adventure tourism, MICE tourism, medical tourism, cruise tourism, and ecotourism, amongst others. The sessions will also cover cross-cutting themes such as alternate accommodation, future travel intermediaries, future of package tourism, and aviation. State sessions will provide opportunity for the states to showcase their potential and future plans for developing tourism in their respective states. The tourism leaders will deliberate on the key enablers for Atmanirbhar Bharat, including policies, infrastructure, marketing, ease of doing business, quality of service, attracting domestic and overseas investments, and fostering a culture of innovation and technology. These are the building blocks of Atmanirbhar Bharat. The knowledge partner KPMG team has interacted extensively with faith associations, Ministry of Tourism, and other stakeholders in preparing the knowledge report. The report looks at the global scenario, the Indian scenario, the critical success factors, impact of the pandemic, and way forward for various segments of tourism sector. I'm sure the knowledge report and the deliberations during the session will benefit Indian tourism immensely. The Ministry of Tourism will take these recommendations forward with other ministries and stakeholders in ushering new policies, programs, and initiatives for development and promotion of tourism sector. Once again, I would like to thank Faith Leadership and our knowledge partner KPMG and wish ITM 2021 a great success. Thank you.
Thank you so much, JS Rakesh. It was your dream, and we have built on that. Hopefully, we should be able to convert the thought to finish, and look forward to all your support for the same. It's not very often that industry gets a guide, a friend, and a mentor, and we are very fortunate to have that with us, and we would like to invite DG Meenakshi Sharma, who has guided us and been a friend with us, for us, and walked with us all the way. Your thoughts, ma'am. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you, Ashish, for calling me a friend. I think that's the greatest compliment I will take. On this very important occasion, I would like to thank Mr. Prahlad Singh Patel, the Honorable Minister for Tourism and Culture, who has actually been guiding force for such events. But this year, it was his guidance that we should try for a hybrid event, virtual and physical, which kind of give a positive signal to the world that India is ready to take that challenge. I would also like to thank the faith leadership here, and because it happens to be my last ITM, and like that, so I think it's very important. The kind of solidarity which this industry has started building on with the emergence of faith had actually maybe for a purpose. The COVID crisis really gave this solidarity a test. We were here to see whether this solidarity will stay or not, and I must say that I think the whole reasoning of having the faith as an organization, bringing all federation together, really served its purpose, and this industry has come out much stronger, much healthier than it was pre-COVID time. At this time, I would also like to welcome, and on behalf of the earlier friend to the faith, Mr. Arvind Singh, the new Secretary of Tourism, and I can assure him that it's a very interesting group of people which we interact all the time with its challenges, but however very encouraging, very energizing. I also thank all my colleagues from the industry, all the buyers who are attending this virtually, the international buyers, the domestic buyers, and all the sellers. We would have loved them to be here, but I think it's still all right, because I think we can converse, we can share our ideas, whether it's physical or virtual. I also would like to thank Ministry of Tourism to really rise to any challenge. So I think whether it's about the ADG or the JS, we have always been, and all my colleagues from the CMD, ITDC, I can see the economic advisor here, which we never think that is there a challenge which cannot be handled. Now coming back to the ITM, of course the tourism before COVID and tourism after COVID are two different things. I think we have all been given a chance to have a reboot. So we do have the same hardware, the software, the expertise, but we have been given a chance to relook at the whole thing and just see how do we emerge fresher, how do we emerge brighter, how do we emerge stronger. A little experience of tourism, domestic tourism, and I think CEO Niti Aayog, Mr. Amitabh Kant, kind of made a reference to it, saying that there were some very interesting trends which are showing. We do not know whether these trends are there to stay. I think I would say the industry would know it much better, or some of them are just happening because there is a lot of pent-up demand, so to say, or they are going to stay. But if there are certain trends which we are seeing, can we really build on that? What the domestic tourist is seeing in India, which is different, which is fresher, which is very, very energizing, can we show that India to the international tourist? Can we bring those kind of products to our traditional or our new international travelers? Please see India from these lenses, from this aspect. So I think when all these conversations are happening, I would like all of you to kind of ponder on that also, because in initial years, it will always be the competition between the destination which can show a different picture, a picture which is not been seen earlier. So I think that's a challenge for us, but it's also not a challenge because India is full of surprises. Whether we talk of the heritage, we talk of the culture, we talk of the nature, we can show so much more than many other destinations maybe cannot. So I think, so let's look at our strength. Let's look where we can go. The kind of resilience this industry has shown in the last such a challenging year is really commendable. I think in ministry we always kept thinking, how it is going to go. But time flies, and I think we have done not too bad. Actually, we have done quite well. Whether it's about how India handled its the COVID, the whole crisis, and how we are handling now the vaccination, how the whole government and the industry has come together to find solution. I mean, I'm really thankful to the industry, really, the kind of friendship we saw, the kind of the feeling of togetherness we saw. I think that is the celebration of this ITM, when we are almost, at the end of the crisis and we come together. So I will wish this ITM a great success, and thank you very much for inviting me here.
It's such a wonderful thought, a celebration of industry and government coming together. I still remember, I think 6 years back, we started our first discussion, and we wish you all the best. While you're very, very sad to see you go, we are very happy that we have another ambassador of tourism of our partnership in the government going forward. Wish you all the very best, DG Meenakshi. Thank you so very much. Faith is a body of all associations, and really it's a body of volunteers where presidents come together and share their time, their thought, and their effort. And one such key effort is the product India Tourism Mart. We are very, very extremely grateful on behalf of the whole industry to champions of the presidents and the association heads who take their time and step forward and share their hours and their effort and their ideas. Amrish Tiwari, the Vice Chairman of ICPB, over the past 40 days worked relentlessly, taking it upon himself with a personal challenge along with Subhash and the Faith Board to guide and structure the whole virtual product, which is the first of its kind. Thank you, Amrish, very much on behalf of the whole industry, and can we request you to share the whole concept with everyone? Thank you.
Namaste, everyone. I really feel honored to be present here to an event which is very dear to my heart, that is India Tourism Mart. The coronavirus stopped tourism activities worldwide. The joint initiative of all tourism stakeholders under the leadership of Faith, along with in association with Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, where we had a great support from the Rakesh ji and entire Ministry of Tourism team, day and night. I think we working till late 1:30 in the every day, sending the message and getting a response. So this collective team efforts has bring what the ITM is all about. So all tourism is under the umbrella of Faith in MOT find this initiative. I'm just giving a brief virtual what we are having. As of now, when we are talking, we are having 92 booths. We are having 202 exhibitors. Number of knowledge sessions are 12. Speakers are 73, and speakers include from the union minister till all the global presidents, and very vast majority. I'm sure you all are having those details. Participating countries are 73. Number of international buyers are 316. Number of domestic buyers are 241. So total buyer we had 557. So we committed you 500, we had 557. And conference delegates, as of now on the system, we are already crossed all 100 delegates. And the registered delegate plus walk-in, we are having close to 1,000 walk-in is coming. Total attendees as of now on the system is 1,640. 4,791 meeting is going on as a pre-scheduled meeting, and every minute's number of meetings are increasing, plus the people, those who are joining online. So whatever day and night we work, Halji is here, he supported a great way. So this is a combined team effort. We carry on doing so. The whole idea is, ITM, we do the virtually, give the message, because India is the country, out of the 6 vaccines, 2 are produced in India, and 80% of, the pharmaceuticals is controlled in India. So we are contributing in a great extent to create an image. And as of now, when the entire world in terms of tourism is at ground zero level, this is the right time to take off. So whatever ranking any country was having earlier, it's not valid anymore. So this is time we stay together. We have our joint, the strategy meet and take it forward. Thank you very much. This was not possible without all of your support. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Amrish. Tourism is always classified as a service industry. And ironically, tourism happens because there's infrastructure. And one of the key drives that the whole faith associations have been making along with the government is how do we become an infrastructure industry? Because truly, it's infrastructure with people services which makes tourism happen. There is no stronger signal at the beginning of this revival than having at the helm of our leadership somebody who is deep-rooted in infrastructure. We are extremely delighted and extremely fortunate to now have at the helm of tourism Secretary Arvind Singh, who comes from nowhere less than airports, which is the primary driver of tourism, and has background in economics and infrastructure. Secretary Singh, thank you so very much for guiding us and leading us, and we request you for your thoughts and your vision going forward. Thank you.
Mr. Nakul Anand, Mr. Subhash Goel, all my colleagues from the ministry, Meenakshi, Rakesh, Rupinder, CMD ITDC, Economic Advisor, and all the other dignitaries on dais who are office bearers of various associations affiliated to Faith. Mr. Khanna, of course, is here, with whom we attended the first physical event related to tourism after COVID at Kevadia. So I'm very happy that after that event at Kevadia, we have a second hybrid event where some of us are attending it physically, and a lot of foreign delegates are attending it through the virtual mode. So my warm greetings to the entire tourism industry today on the occasion of the 3rd edition of India Tourism Mart 2021, which we are organizing jointly, the Faith and Ministry of Tourism. I have been informed that over 400 international and domestic buyers from over 60 countries are participating in this year's virtual cum physical ITM. They'll be interacting with exhibitors from the Indian tourism industry. And I've also been informed that in addition to business meetings at ITM, a knowledge leadership conclave is also being organized, which will have experts and industry leaders deliberating on various sectors of Indian travel and tourism industry. I'm confident that these deliberations will show the way forward to the tourism industry in the country. As we come out of the pandemic, the success of India's approach and action in handling the COVID-19 pandemic must be told to the world. Despite the constraints on our health infrastructure, the country has successfully managed the pandemic with the support of our large number of citizens. While controlling the pandemic at home, India has also helped other nations in the neighborhood and elsewhere with vaccines to help them in controlling the pandemic. We have now emerged as one of the leaders in the global efforts towards vaccination post-COVID-19. Over 9 million persons have already been vaccinated in the country till date, and the world is looking up to India for showing the light towards the future of the vaccination program. And we have been able to succeed in this due to the visionary leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister. With most of the domestic sector now open for travel, there have been encouraging reports regarding spurt in domestic tourism in many states, which was indicated by earlier speakers. These states include Goa, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, and J&K. Probably people are tired due to the prolonged lockdown and want to travel more and more. Large number of Indians who were earlier traveling abroad are now visiting various destinations, and some for longer periods of time. And as we try to recover from the impact, focusing on the domestic tourism potential, encouraging fellow countrymen to explore their own country, taking a much needed break within their own borders will be definitely a winning strategy for the country and the sector. The Dekho Apna Desh campaign of the ministry is aimed at promoting domestic tourism. Through webinars and various other events and activities, the ministry is providing impetus to domestic tourism and has also been successful in promoting lesser-known destinations of the country. While domestic tourism has started recovering, inbound tourism is yet to restart. This virtual ITM shows our readiness for international tourism and marks the beginning of the end of the bad days or the clouds which were looming large over the Indian travel and tourism industry. We in the ministry will work with the Home Affairs Ministry, the Health and the External Affairs Ministry to plan a calibrated opening up of inbound tourism, to plan a relaxation in the restrictions that we have on tourist visas. And as we work towards the opening of inbound tourism, we, the government and the industry, will have to jointly work to help inbound tourism recover to pre-COVID levels. In a recent press conference, some of you might have read, I highlighted that the ministry has been allocated a budget which is 61% higher than the revised estimates of last year. This allocated budget of the Ministry of Tourism would be used for creation of tourism destinations at various destinations, to help create the tourism infrastructure at various destinations, and this is across various states on tourism promotional activities. Development of tourist infrastructure and services around such destinations will definitely help in enhancing the inherent tourism potential of these destinations. We all know that connectivity is crucial for the growth of the sector, and with 80% of domestic flights almost resuming operations to pre-COVID levels, it is evident that the confidence of travelers has been reinstated, and soon there will be a gradual resumption of business. The union budget has focused in a major way on developing expressways, which will connect major metropolitan cities around the country and will provide better connectivity to tourist sites and contribute to the growth and development of the tourism sector. We have also launched Vista Dome coaches in collaboration with the Ministry of Railways on the Visakhapatnam-Araku Valley and the Mumbai-Goa routes in 2017, which helps attract tourists towards these routes. The World Economic Forum based in Geneva has prioritized sanitation for promotion of tourism. In this regard, we have noted the allocation of Urban Swachh Bharat Mission 2, which will focus on segregation of garbage, wastewater treatment, single-use plastic, reduction in air pollution, and help promote cleanliness in the country, and will help improve India's competitiveness as a tourism destination. We need to prepare our tourism service providers and our destinations for higher levels of health and hygiene standards. We have launched the Sathi initiative to assist the industry in following the guidelines and SOPs which were issued during the COVID times by the Ministry of Tourism and Ministry of Health. The pandemic has also brought an unprecedented use of technology in the life of people, and we will have to, in this new normal, leverage digital technology for creating awareness and providing services to tourists. We will strengthen the Incredible India portal, leveraging virtual reality and other technological means to more popularize further Indian destinations. In the post-COVID scenario, we can focus on India's ancient knowledge and wisdom on wellness, yoga, and alternative medicine. Industry has this unique opportunity to benefit by further popularizing yoga, wellness, and other nature-based tourism activities in the post-COVID world. I'm sure ITM 2021 will be a success, and its recommendations regarding policies and initiatives for various tourism segments, including cultural tourism, adventure tourism, ecotourism, MICE, medical tourism, and cruise tourism, will be useful for both government and industry, and we will definitely examine and take these recommendations forward. After I joined the ministry, I did the customary call on all the senior dignitaries in government, at the highest echelons of government. And the feedback I got from all of them is that the top leadership of the country is looking at the tourism sector to be one of the major drivers of the economy in the post-COVID world. If jobs have to grow, if incomes have to grow, if the economy has to bounce back, along with this focus in public investment in infrastructure, the sector has to definitely come back. And that is the message I got when I did my customary call-ons on all the senior leaders in government. So in conclusion, I wish the tourism industry a successful and fruitful India Tourism Mart 2021, and I'm sure the deliberations will help you, further improve domestic tourism, help recover international tourism, and make 2021 calendar year a better one than the calendar year 2020. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Arvind Singh. Absolutely, and we will take this forward along with you, and we will come back to you with all our recommendations and look forward to a phenomenal partnership going ahead. We're all safe today in the country thanks to the visionary leadership of our Prime Minister, and along with that, our Health Minister and Minister of Health and Family Welfare. He would have wanted to join us, but he has shared his message, and we would like to play that message for the benefit of all our viewers around the world and around the country. Could we have the message of Honorable Minister of Health and Family Welfare, Dr. Harsh Vardhan, please?
Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to all of you. It is indeed a matter of great privilege for me to be addressing all of you today at the inaugural ceremony of the 3rd India Tourism Mart, organized by Federation of Associations in Indian Tourism and Hospitality. I understand that apart from Indian delegates, there are over 250 delegates from 60 countries attending this event virtually. I truly appreciate your participation at this forum. Friends, this 3rd India Tourism Mart holds even more significance as it is being organized at a time when the world is emerging from the dark clouds of the pandemic, and countries all across the world are contemplating on opening up travel, albeit with all health and security precautions in place. It is also a time when India has embarked on the world's largest immunization program against COVID-19. We have not only vaccinated over 8.5 million people in India, but have also sent millions of doses to other countries seeking our help. As you are all aware, India has always been a popular tourist destination. But over the last few years, it has also emerged as a leading destination for medical tourism. advancements in our vast and vibrant healthcare industry has made it comparable with the best in the world. Our education system that has been producing world-class doctors, nurses, and paramedical staff is well recognized across the globe. Often called the pharmacy of the world, India is also one of the largest manufacturers of pharmaceuticals and supplies a large portion of vaccines used across the globe. All these strengths and capabilities have contributed to India emerging as a crucial place as far as medical tourism is concerned. To encourage it further, we have already started issuing medical visas and are planning to soon restart e-tourist visas as well as scheduled international flights. I understand that the members participating at the India Leadership Conclave scheduled during this March will be holding deliberations to provide ideas and practices for tourism going forward. I wish you all the best for your discussions and look forward to your insights. Before I conclude, I would like to assure all of you that my ministry is fully committed to supporting the efforts made by the Ministry of Tourism in reviving international tourism. I would once again like to congratulate Federation of Associations in Indian Tourism and Hospitality for organizing the 3rd India Tourism Mart and extend my best wishes to all Indian and international delegates participating at the event. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to address this esteemed gathering.
Namaste, Dr. Harshvardhan. Thank you so very much, and thank you for your support, and thank you for keeping us safe. We are deeply indebted to you. Tourism is all about practice and about knowledge and about vision. We have a vision of faith, and we have lots of knowledge and practice and concepts that we have to go forward on. Can I invite Nakul to just share a quick vision of faith, and then we will look at the knowledge and the practices that tourism industry can look forward to.
Thank you all. I'm sorry we got interrupted at that time, but that is the time that we could get the minister. Just to continue from where I left, Faith, on behalf of the entire tourism industry, engages in key policy and strategic ideation with central and state governments in India for growth of the Indian tourism industry. We have closely worked with governments on tourism components of various national and strategic policies. Some of these policies, to name a few, have been e-visa, GST, strategy on monuments, PPP policy, tourism vision document, foreign trade, economic surveys, Udan policy, union budget discussions, cruise tourism policy, I Respect Women badges, tourism negotiations for trade blocs, and brainstorming sessions on state and tourism policies. In many a state, we've been involved in the formation of their tourism policy. On behalf of the tourism industry, Faith has previously planned global seller meets for the tourism industry. These include the GET India 2015, which is the global exhibition on tourism, in partnership with the Ministry of Commerce, Government of India at Pragati Maidan, the ITM 2018 and 2019, in partnership with the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. We are excited to bring to you ITM 2021, virtual from the 18th February, that's today, to 20th, a marketplace for Indian tourism to showcase its product and services to global buyers. Additionally, as a new feature this year, domestic buyers have been invited. The Indian Tourism Leadership Conclave promises to bring the best minds in tourism to discuss the way forward for the Indian tourism industry. The ITM 2020 virtual expects to welcome 300 international buyers and visitors, 240 domestic buyers, 80 exhibitors. We already have over 3,000 registered visitors. Faith is confident that despite ITM 2021 being a virtual event, we will continue to generate great buyer interest, and endeavor to make brand India even more incredible. A nation's culture resides in the hearts and in the soul of its people, so said Mahatma Gandhi. It is this tradition and cultural heritage that becomes the nucleus of a nation's tourism activity. The role of tourism is immensely important for every country. It is not just a cultural ambassador to the world, but also a key contributor to the economy and employment. I don't plan to preach to the converted, but just to recap the role that tourism can play in the recovery of the global economy, as mentioned by the Honorable Secretary. Globally, in 2019, tourism's direct and indirect and induced impact accounted for $8.9 trillion in contribution to global GDP, 10.3% of global GDP, 330 million jobs, 1 in 10 that is, with a high share of women in the workforce, which is 54%, perhaps higher than any other. According to the United Nations World Tourism Organization, regrettably, arrivals dropped to 381 million. The last time international arrivals saw a decline was in 2009 during the global economic crisis. Just by way of comparison, the decline then was 4%, in contrast to 74% in 2020. Region-wise, Asia-Pacific was the worst affected, with 57 million international arrivals posting a drop of 84%. Closer back home, tourism contributes to 10% of our economy. It provides 87.5 million jobs, which is 12.75% of the total workforce. In 2019, we recorded 2.3 billion domestic tourist visits in India. India's domestic tourism is estimated now to be the second largest in the world, next to China, which is estimated, and we are estimated to double our size. In the pre-COVID era, USA was estimated at almost 6 domestic tourist visits per citizen, China at 3.6, and India at 1.7 domestic tourism visits per citizen, only to highlight the potential that exists in domestic tourism. Foreign tourist arrivals into India dropped from 10.93 million to just 2.68 in 2020. Foreign exchange earnings from 30 billion to $6 billion. We do know when values change, it brings with it seeds of opportunity. It also brings with it reasons for us to alter our course. The Black Death ended federalism and serfdom. World War II made US the most powerful nation. 9/11 reshaped transportation and security policies worldwide. 26/11 reshaped hotel security. 2003, SARS attitude towards shopping in China with a surge in online shopping. And 2009 global meltdown led to the birth of the sharing economy. India too has multiple opportunities of growth in the post-pandemic world. We have unmatchable strengths. India is home to 38 World Heritage Sites recognized by UNESCO. Unmatchable space for regional tourism. Data speaks volumes. Out of 140 countries, India ranked 8th on cultural resources and business travel, 13th on price competitiveness, and 14th on natural resources on the World Economic Forum Travel and Tourism Competitive Index. Overall, tourism competitiveness rank, thanks to the support of the Ministry of Tourism, stood at 34, moving nearly 20 steps in the last 2 to 3 years. Mark Twain said, "India is the cradle of the human race, the birthplace of human speech, the mother of history, the grandmother of legend, and the great-grandmother of tradition. Our most valuable and most constructive materials in the history of man are treasured up in India only." As the rest of the world rushes to find solutions in India, we in India already have our charter crafted and created centuries ago. While our scientific temperament will consistently innovate as we revisit the annals of history, our past holds the mirror to our future. To take one step forward, we need to take 2 steps backward. Everything old is new again. The vast knowledge bank created by our ancestors can be the Arth Shastra to reimagine incredible India. I call it our intellectual heirloom. Yoga and Ayurveda are preventive solutions for holistic well-being that the globe seeks. We need to blend our current tourism assets with our natural, cultural, and heritage might. Our traditional practices address all modern day concerns arising from the pandemic and thus become the new beacon of light for tourism in India. Our food is deeply grounded with 5 elements, 5 senses, 3 stands, 3 humors, 6 tastes, and 9 feelings. As the Bhagavad Gita teaches us, you eat what you are, and you are what you eat. India's ancient medical practice is comprehensively and systematically outlined. Allow me to share some of the global healthcare trends contributing to healthcare services these days. In the last 30 years, life expectancy has gone up to 90 years from 72 years. US, Western Europe, and Middle East has a sizable aging population. Lifestyle-related diseases are on the rise. Healthcare value chain has been expanding from core medical services to prevention healthcare to alternative systems of medicine to wellness. Worldwide obesity has doubled since 1980. 10% of the world's adult population has diabetes. Half the global business population has experienced an appreciable rise in workplace stress. From 2002 to 2020, healthcare spending in OECD countries will more than triple to 10 trillion. From 2020 to 2050, the population of the world's over 60 years will double. Given India's inherent advantages, we could be the world capital for wellness tourism. Wellness tourism accounts for 14% of all domestic and international tourism. Global wellness tourism is expected to grow by more than 50% from 2005, touching over 800 billion in 2020. International wellness tourists spend 61% more than the average international tourists. Healthcare value chains have expanded from curative to preventive and alternative systems of medical to wellness. Ayurveda has always promoted the preventive, healthy living practices through daily and seasonal regime, focusing on diets, activities boosting immunity, rather than depending on the reactive approach to modern Medicare using antiviral or antibiotics. Let us curate, innovate, and repackage our products for this new world order. There has never been a more appropriate time in the current era that present one to apply the knowledge and lessons from the infinite treasures of our ancient Indian heritage in fields spanning the entire gamut of civilization, from wellness to science. As per the United Nations World Tourism Organization, 50 million Indian tourists would travel out of the country in 2022. In the post-COVID world, our biggest strength lies in the domestic market, and herein is our opportunity to convert some part of this segment of this number to domestic tourism, those who go out as ambassadors to bring more people back to India. From spiritual and alternative healing to nature and adventure and cultural and heritage, wildlife and safaris, India's inherent richness is abundant in offerings. 7,500 kilometers of coastline that offers a variety of cuisine unique to its state, 55,000 kilometers of lakes, streams and rivers, 60% of the world's tiger population. The list, ladies and gentlemen, is endless. Be it regional experience, a slice of mice. Global mice sector is estimated to be upward of 800 billion. India's share is estimated to be 1%, only goes to show our potential. Ecotourism, golf destination, or adventure tourism. While India is the 8th most competitive in natural and cultural tourism resources, it has a low share in the global adventure tourism industry worth 750 billion, poised to touch 1.5 trillion in the post-COVID world, another great opportunity for India to tap. India is richly endowed with sun, sea, snow, sand, mountains, flora and fauna, reserve parks, wildlife sanctuaries, waterfalls and rivers, offering travel enthusiasts reasons to explore and come back for more. While traveling overseas, Indians spend on an average 4 times as much as an average Japanese or Chinese tourist, which equals to about $1,200 per trip, compared to $700 for the average American. On an average, Indian tourists travel for 15 days and spend a disproportionately large amount of money on branded luxury goods. If the spend on foreign travel segment was in any way measured as a part of the national economy, then Indian tourists would have a massive part of India's GDP, managing to spend even more than total foreign direct investments in the Indian hospitality sector. Imagine if this was a flow into domestic grounds, how the economy and employment could swell up. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to take pride in our assets and our treasure. This is the legacy of our ancestors. As the great Martin Luther King said, To other countries, I may go as a tourist, but to India, I come as a pilgrim. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you, Nakul. In our journey of building tourism for India, we are very fortunate to have many partners. And one of those partners has been KPMG, the global advisory and consulting firm, whose partnership and team committed voluntarily hours on our request. And over the past 40 days, they interacted with many of us around the country virtually and with ministry. And they have prepared a way forward for us. And we have divided their session. We would like to share those points with all of us. So we have a detailed session on the 20th, which is the way forward, where each of those recommendations will be shared with all of us. Right now, we would love to have a quick thought on it and to release that way forward report. Can I invite partner from KPMG, Vivek Agarwal? Vivek, thank you to all your team for your help. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, just a minute, and I'll probably request the dais to release the report. As Ashish already mentioned, that there is a detailed session on the 20th to be able to take through the architecture. We'll just take a couple of minutes to sort of socialize this entire approach, with all the dignitaries sitting here and the set of dignitaries who've joined us from across the globe. 5 years back, when I think Ministry was very keen to put a roadmap in terms of how the entire sector is evolving, we were very fortunate, an absolute honor for us to be able to, author that, the entire roadmap for the Ministry in some sense. Unheard stories and unseen destination was at that point in time what it was called. And in some form, it paved the way, under the aegis of very senior officers sitting here and Secretary Sir in taking charge now, in terms of the planning process that was sort of undertaken. 2021, 5 years down the line, I think you've heard from all the dignitaries here that perhaps the most opportune time to do a reset and a reboot. This report is not about looking back. This thought process and architecture is about how do we shift this to the next orbit. It lays down the broad architecture in terms of both from a policy reform point of view, from some amount of support that the industry is seeking, and also the ask from the industry. So this is, we as a neutral agency have taken both sides of the view. And to that extent, that convergence needs to be sort of drawn to be able to do so. As always, an absolute pleasure and an honor to be able to sort of, work back with a large set of industry representatives sitting here and back. And we hope to sort of, bring this to the ground with all your support and under your aegis. May I request everyone on the dais and the FAITH Chairman and Ashish to unveil the report, please.
Thank you, Vivek, and to all your team for all your effort and time. And thank you, Rakesh, once again for guiding us towards this approach. We would like to conclude, and for that, we would like to invite ADG Rupinder Brar, whose sheer energy and brilliance always enamors us, and thank you so much. We would request you to give a word of thanks on behalf of all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashish. A good morning to everyone. And indeed, it is my privilege to propose a vote of thanks to everyone who has worked tirelessly to bring together the India Travel Mart 2021 in a hybrid mode. It does feel fantastic to be across real people and no longer on the web stage, as we call it. On behalf of the Ministry of Tourism, I would want to thank all the exhibitors, almost 200 of them, more than 300 international buyers, more than 200 domestic buyers, and 800 conference delegates and speakers for the different sessions that have been put together by Faith and the Ministry of Tourism. Our thanks goes to Faith and its 10 constituent associations, all the central government ministries, the state tourism departments, the Knowledge Partners KPMG, who have actually come out with I'm sure, a brilliant report and a roadmap ahead. And most importantly, our thanks go for all the support and encouragement given to us by the Honorable Union Health Minister, Dr. Harshvardhan Ji, Shri Amitabh Kant, CEO, Niti Aayog, and our own Honorable Minister of Tourism and Culture, Shri Prahlad Singh Patel Ji, who remains a pillar of support to our sector. And last but not the least, thanks and gratitude to the leadership of Shri Nakul Anand, Chairman Faith, and to ITC for hosting the physical part of this hybrid event, and to our new secretary, Shri Arvind Singh Ji, who in less than a month has already become a source of huge inspiration, new concepts, and new ideas as we reboot and restructure ourselves. So thank you once again, and all the best for a very successful India Travel Mart 2021.
Thank you, ADG Rupinder. Thank you so very much. This is the end, but really it's the beginning. To all our viewers from around the world, all our delegates who have joined us, we are now breaking up for lunch, but I'm sure all your meetings are currently on in the B2B format. And our first knowledge session goes on live at 1:50 p.m. So wherever you are, when you break for lunch, please come back on the platform. And you have an amazing panel of people over the next 3 days who are going to share their thoughts, completely refreshing. Please join us for lunch and please keep your masks on, maintain social distancing. Thank you very much. Namaste and God bless you all. Thank you. Okay.